Okay, so this is going to be one of those real classic struggle sessions where I'm going to talk about occupational hazards. Now, a lot of occupational hazards you see are these kind of reverse schadenfreudes where you're like, I'm having too good a time. Like, you cut yourself with a razor and you come because you're so sexually repressed. We all know that feeling. I'm going to talk about this allegorically because there's a lot of things stuffed in about how things germinate, split. There's a certain meiosis to it, a certain dichogamy, and it's not very countable at all because how you notice is also it's not neutered, right? It's like always split. It's always a split expression, and it relies on exactly that sort of exponential base, which is the extent to which you can like see the amount of identities. You can't really pare them down as much as you can see how they've been pared down to by an abstract kind of normalcy. And you get 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, each of which is an approximation of a person. So, an occupational hazard, on the other hand, is what people talk about when they talk about things. And what things are is, dialectic. It's a negotiation of things that happen. Now, if you're gonna slip, you don't want to slip because slipping would be bad. However, there's a certain coding that's written down in all action that people neglect. Now, this is the core difference between something that's like good classical literature and something that's cinematic. Something that's cinematic will have, instead of the scenes being flourished out, the description is kind of compounded like you have in words. It's more like the context is compounded by what you see in the scenes, and that kind of fills it out. That fills out the world versus the world filling out the spaces, which is kind of what you have in books, and where the world is just kind of the sort of haiku of words, stereotypes you get from that. Now, cinematic language, it sees the grammar of scenes rather than the meaning of events and grammar of descriptions. And what's vital about that, you see, is that these scenes, when scrutinized like that, instead you can always explain them after. That's a huge kind of like, you might call it a privilege, but I call it a right because I think there's a certain evolution happening actively where the collective subconscious and anyone knows what the internet is, right? Obviously. I mean, anyone who isn't on the internet practically doesn't exist. So that's a whole nother thing. But, you see, so you can explain any event after, and that makes up for the germination of all things. Where, literature kind of like the words all go into whatever kind of associativity you give to it. It's all kind of melted into this pot, which is why you can like sift over words, or you can read them like individually. if you're some fucking ice chewing psychopath. Now, cinematic language, I feel, is what separates writing from speaking. Speaking is much more, you hear what you say, and in a sense, that makes it just much more natural to respond to. Like, I'm I'm I sometimes seep words in lines called bars, which I constitute as raps. And besides their like complete lack of rhythm, it's sort of like in real time, it's less spontaneous than writing, but it's more kind of synthetic altogether, right? Because you're saying one thing and it's pairing well with another, and it's not all just pure thought. It's actually the haiku of it is so substantiated that it's forced into this occupational hazard of a certain laconic urge, or when you're kind of trying to do flourishes, you're gonna really make it like a sledgehammer. You're gonna fucking kill someone. Now, occupational hazards are much more abound in cinematic language, but their cinematic language, as described by literal language, and that's bad. Yeah. It's not an invitational video. It's a not a welcoming video, but rather it's a mandatory video that you have to watch. This is mandatory. And if you don't watch it, then you're bad. So, yeah. And that's the basic pairing. You can't tell someone that it's an occupational hazard. You have to be that hazard. You have to say, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's really, that's what I believe.